You're also learning more about the leader of this terror group, a man described as the new bin Laden, the heir to bin Laden. It turns out he had been in U.S. custody until 2009 over in Iraq, when he was then handed over to the Iraqi government as part of our troop draw. And then he was released. Now he has led this effort to create an Islamic caliphate, a nation-state ruled by harsh, radical Islamic law and dedicated to killing, quote, non-believers and spreading its power as far as it can. Ken King is the former commander of the prison where that man was held until his release in 2009. Ken, thank you so much for being here. It must stun you to see that somebody who was in our control and custody that we let out, what we gave to the Iraqis and they let him out, is now leading the most disgusting, vile terror group we've seen in recent history.
Good evening, Megan. Thank you for having me. Yes, I was at Camp Bucca, the detention center there. In fact, we closed Camp Bucca back in 2009. I was on the flight with when we transferred him north to Baghdad for final transfer to the Iraqis. We built a very solid case for detention regarding him. And we handed over to the Iraqi judicial system. As you know, their rule of law was a little immature at the time, and their decisions to let him go, while personally disappointing, I have to respect as the decisions of a sovereign government.
And he had, I understand, a warning for you, Ken, before he left.
Yes, ma'am, he did. We did not release any detainees from Camp Bucca. We actually transferred them north to Baghdad for transfer, for final transfer, either release or to a facility. And he knew my unit. I commanded a military police battalion out of New York, out of Uniondale, New York. Was blessed with 500 fantastic NYPD, FDNY, and even 500 sailors with me. They did a great job. Treated the prisoners with dignity and respect. But when we handed him off, he knew we were from New York, and he knew he was going to get out, in my mind, because as he left, he told me and the soldiers that were around me, "I'll see you in New York."
That is just chilling.
So
back at that time, and I understand we were leaving Iraq, and so this is pursuant to the deal that we were going to turn these people over to a fledgling legal system that was nowhere near capable of handling them in any real way. And so there was pressure. There was pressure on Camp Bucca. Oh, we're not treating the prisoners right. There are too many of them. They need justice. They need to be turned over to the Iraqis. Let them deal with it. And now we have one of the worst terror leaders we have seen in decades. I mean, do you see any similarities there, Ken, as we see now 5 4-star generals of the Taliban being released from Afghanistan, as we're being told, you know, we need to do something about Gitmo too. It's not right the way we're treating those prisoners, and so on.
Well, I mean, I can't comment on Gitmo, to be honest. I've never been to Guantanamo Bay, but I can tell you that in Bucca, again, we had my battalion was there, and I had a Navy Provisional Detention Battalion, MPDB 5 and 6, 500 great sailors. Had a bunch of reservists with me, and we treated every detainee with dignity and respect. Yeah. We made sure.
Well, I know that you are a decorated. You're a decorated soldier. You're not here in your official capacity, but I want our viewers to know that you've received several Bronze Stars and Purple Hearts, and we thank you for your service and for being on tonight.
Thank you, ma'am.
All the best.
Thank you.
Also breaking tonight, stunning new details on those 5